Assalamu alaikum, ma'am. Everything is going well. What about you, ma'am?
Yes, I am great. Finally, I have recovered from my coldness, and you knew that I had fever, but now I do not have that. So feeling really awesome. So I think from the group you have got to know that I have provided some valuable suggestions for your midterm, isn't it? And your midterm exam would be on November 11th, isn't it? Have you checked your
Yes, ma'am.
routine? What is the time and the date?
Oh, I didn't check the routine, but I have seen some discussion about that.
You better see the routine because it's already 6th and today is the last class before your meet. Okay, so check your routine. I have given some suggestion in the WhatsApp group. You can check them out. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I've seen
For
that.
your broad questions, you have to write around 150 to 200 words. For short note, it can be also 50 to 100 words. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Today, as we are done with our syllabus, already you knew. You can open your WhatsApp group. I will just tell that what kind of how you can study. Okay. There can be definition about prose and drama, 17th century characteristics and history, and Francis Bacon biography. Okay.
Okay,
We have
ma'am.
5 essays. Try to study all because 2 essays can be connected. Okay. দুটো এসেকে আমি কোনোভাবে কানেকশন করে দিতে পারি, যেমন ফ্রান্সিস বেকনস কনসেপ্ট অফ লাভ অ্যান্ড মানে অফ ডেথ অ্যান্ড ম্যারেজ হইতে পারে, ঠিক আছে? So it's better that you study all the essays. At least you get to know about the main concepts. Okay. So the first essay is of parents, responsibility of parents and upbringing of children. These are very important topics. Modern day parenting, compare and contrast with the essay. The second essay is titled of marriage and single life, and you have to study the advantages and disadvantages of marriage according to the essay of marriage and single life. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
The third essay is of friendship, advantages and disadvantages of having a friend, and there is also another sentence, a friend in need is a friend indeed, and you have to explain this. Okay, so it's the same actually. Number 4 is death, the concept of death according to Francis Bacon in the essay of death. Okay. And the 5th one is of studies, importance of study. Have you done the forums? Today you have got 2 more forums. Have you checked your e-learning?
Ma'am, yes, I've noticed, but in forum 5, I'm not sure. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, I've got it.
Forum 1 2 done.
Yes, 1, 2, 3 done.
1 2 3 done. You will get a quiz very soon. Assignment, have you started the assignment?
Yes, ma'am, I have already submitted the assignment.
Okay, that's great. You will get other forums in this week and you have already got it. You can check your e-learning. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
And after meet you will have only 1 quiz, and your final meet will start from November 11th. You can also check out your routine. I think that would be better now if you can check out your routine. I think Saif sir has given you the routine, isn't it?
Not yet, ma'am. We didn't receive any routine in our WhatsApp group or like till now. I'll check my portal for exam routines.
Okay, you can. But how can the others know that? The day batch then so much they know the routine.
Ma'am, they get notified by like ahead of us, like every time, but we didn't get our time and routine. Normally, after like after 1 or 2 days, when they got, then they provide our routine.
Okay. I think you can go to the portal and search for your routine. Okay. Or you can also contact Saif sir if you want the routine. Okay. You need to know the when is your exam. It's already 6th and your exam begins after 4 days, isn't it? You don't have so much time left. isn't
Yeah,
it?
ma'am. Like as I said, I've checked the portal as well, but it's showing me that there is no exam routine.
Okay, so I think you can check your yeah. Also, you can talk with Eva and get the routine. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
that would be better, and tell her to provide it in your group, the WhatsApp group, and also tell Saiba about the routine. Okay, and today I
Yes,
think you should get the routine. Otherwise, you don't know when is your exam. That's really shocking.
yes, ma'am.
Now you will have a kind of summary of all the all whatever the 5 essays, and I think that will be very easier for you. That day we have also done that, but it will be just finishing. What about Saiba?
Ma'am, I think she is not online.
Is she well? She was sick as far as I knew. Is she okay?
Yeah, supposed to be. And yeah, I'll try to message her. I'll try to knock her. Let's see.
Hi friends, welcome back to
Now you will have a discussion of off death. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
I have also provided some WhatsApp notes of all the 5 essays. Have you gone through them? একটু দেখে নিয়েন, ঠিক আছে? সবই দেয়া আছে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে।
Yes, ma'am, sure.
তাহলে ইন দা খুব কষ্ট হয়ে যাবে আপনার।
to my channel Way to Knowledge। मेरा नाम है अर्शी और आज मैं आप सबके लिए ताकि जो लोग हैं उनके दिमाग
This one is not okay. It's Hindi. What about your other courses?
Yeah, those are like last week some of like I think 2 or 3 subjects class was postponed due to our lecture, like 2 of our lecture was sick, that's why. But
Uh,
yeah,
Hello students,
I'm going
Anwar
through.
Ahmed. I welcome you on behalf of
2 teachers postponed the classes, or have you postponed the classes?
Sorry, ma'am.
You have postponed the classes, or the teachers
No,
have?
no. It's not like a postpone the classes. They like 2 of our instructor didn't took the class because they were sick. That's why. Hopefully, in this week they will cover it.
Okay, who are the teachers?
One of them is Anando Sharkar sir,
Okay.
and another one is I'm not sure is he sick or something, but he didn't took the class. Like Wahidud Zaman sir. I'm not sure what happened to him.
Okay, so hopefully they will take a makeup exam, makeup class.
Yes, ma'am.
ASK Literature. Our today's topic is Of Death by Sir Francis Bacon. Sir Francis Bacon has written of death in order to end the fear of death from human minds. He suggests that a person should either live the fear of death in the bud or at least overpower it. He fully explains the death and elucidates its different perspectives. He also speaks against false preaching of monks and religious scholars. In his views, they have exaggerated death, and due to which it has become dreadful. The essay has many ideas. He supports every idea through an example. He also mentions proverbs of old philosophers through which he strengthens his stance. Style of the poet is simple and lucid, yet his arguments are solid. Why do people fear from death? It is true that people are afraid of death just like children afraid of the darkness. Why do they fear? Bacon answers it. Children listen stories of ghosts. Elders tell them that ghosts appear at night, therefore they feel afraid of darkness. Similarly, agonies of death are told to human beings, due to which they fear from it. When a person thinks about death, he imagines it from one of the 2 perspectives: religious perspective and natural perspective. If he is thinking that death is a procedure to travel from one world to the other and he would be punished because of his sins, then he is thinking from a religious perspective. Conversely, a person may think from a natural perspective. He may think that death is certain, it is the law of nature. However, Bacon thinks that in case of natural death, fear is an act of cowardliness. Death versus its concept. What is more horrifying, death or its concept? The author refers to Roman philosopher Seneca, who said that it is not the death but its concept which is fearful. Who are the fearless people? There are some persons in the world who do not afraid of death. Even they deliberately pursue death. Here is the list of those people. A person who wants revenge has no fear of death, even if he knows that his enemy would kill him. What he wants is just revenge. Passionate lover, he can die for his love. A man of honor, he can die for his honor. A sufferer, he would prefer death to suffering. Some brave men from the history. Sir Francis Bacon then mentions those people who do not afraid of death, even when it approaches them. Here is the list of those people who remain calm at the time of death. Caesar, Roman emperor, he was so calm that he gave a compliment to his wife. Tiberius, he died during maintaining up appearances. His death was fearless. Galba, he was killed. He died gladly for the welfare of his people. Septimius, he was curious to die after realizing that death is approaching him. Vespasian, at the time of death, he said he is going to be a god and died. Numerous similar examples are there in the world when people died gladly. Should we afraid of death? Sir Francis Bacon supports the opinion of Juvenal, a Roman writer, who has said that we should not afraid of death. It is natural, it is certain. When a person came in the world, he bore pain. The same pain which the elders go through at the time of death. Bacon does not support the concept of preparing for death. In Athens, Stoics used to prepare for death. Bacon is of the view that it just increases the fear. A person who remains busy in his work and suddenly dies suffers less pain as compared to a person who prepares for it. A person should concentrate on doing good deeds. If he does so, he would suffer less pain at the time of death. Conclusion. Motto of the essay is very much clear. Bacon encourages his readers to accept death as a law of nature. Instead of being cowards and running away from death, people should feel its beauty. The author has a good knowledge of Roman history and Greek philosophy. He makes references from ancient Roman history. He has also read philosophy of ancient Romans. He supports his depositions through examples and solid references. Latin phrases have also been illustrated in this essay. In short, the essay is highly optimistic as death has been presented as a natural thing. That's all for today, students. See you in the next video.
Girls, চুলে নজর তারা black shine with tips. Tip number 4.
Hey friends, hello and welcome back. Let us talk about Francis Bacon's another essay of marriage and single life in this video. Bacon says, the man with wife and children is a person whose fortune is hostage to them because there are difficulties in creating great enterprises. He says so because he thinks that wealth and energy of a married person is spent in taking care of his wife and children. If he fails to satisfy their needs, he becomes the subject of ridicule. He says it is certain that best and greatest works done for the public welfare come from unmarried and childless men. These people have done everything for public instead of their families. But Bacon states the categories of unmarried men. The different categories of unmarried men stated by Bacon are: one is men who remain single, but they do not do anything for the public. They end with themselves. The second category is of the men who look at wife and children as nothing but the means of expenses. And the third category is of those who are foolish, rich, covetous men who take pride in having no children because they want to be thought much richer. According to them, if they have children and wives, people will think that they are not rich. Bacon mocks at these people and these kinds of people. All these three categories of men are criticized by Bacon. These reasons of single life are not useful for the society, according to him. Bacon further argues that most ordinary reason of single life is liberty. This is particularly seen in self-pleasing and humorous people. Such people, according to him, are very sensible to any restraint. Speaking about the unmarried men, Bacon states that they are best friends, best masters, and best servants, but they are not best subjects. They can easily run away. He says that most of the examples of fugitives belong to this category. Single life is good for churchmen, according to him, because they are meant to see the public welfare. However, single life is not good for judges, magistrates, and soldiers. They must be responsible and sensitive. Wife and children instill a sense of affection, responsibility, and duty in married men. He gives an example of Turks. They despise the marriage, therefore they are baser and vulgar. Wife and children are a kind of discipline to humanity. Single men are more charitable, but they are cruel and hard-hearted. They become cruel and hard-hearted because they do not get opportunities of being tender. People become serious because they are taught to be so, and they are taught by the customs. They are more constant. Ulysses is an example of a loving husband. Ulysses is said to have rejected immortality in favor of his aging wife. Chaste women, according to Bacon, are proud and forward. They take pride in their chastity. He thinks that a woman should be both chaste and obedient. According to him, a woman never thinks her husband wise. He says that wives are young men's mistresses, middle-aged men's companions, and old men's nurses. It is a difficult question as to when a man should marry, according to Bacon. If this question is asked to a young man, the answer should be not yet. And if the same question is asked to an elderly man, the answer should be not at all. Bacon also records his observation in relation to the nature of husband and wife. He states that it has always seen that bad husbands have good wives. In case of bad husbands, the price of their kindness is considerably raised, or wives take pride in their patience. The essay ends here. You can see the aptness of writing, brevity, and a lot of meaning in very few words in the writings of Bacon. In case of this essay also, the same thing can be seen. It is a short essay, but it contains a lot of meanings, even examples. It is true that some of the views of Francis Bacon can be easily challenged in the modern world. But it is also true that his style of writing, his thoughts, and his skill are really great, and they are great forever. I hope it was a useful video. If it was a useful video, please hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching.
Welcome to a brand new session of easy and simple explanations of important prose works. Today's essay for discussion is Francis Bacon's Of Studies. Francis Bacon, the father of English essays, is the first Viscount of St. Alban, also known as Lord Verulam, was an outstanding thinker of the Renaissance spirit. He was an English philosopher and statesman who served as Attorney General and as Lord Chancellor of England. Alexander Pope described Bacon as the wisest, brightest, and meanest of mankind. Bacon has been called the father of empiricism. He is a master of the aphoristic style. His style may also be called epigrammatic. Advancement of Learning, Novum Organum, New Atlantis, Essays are the principal works that assured him a permanent place among English philosophers. Of Studies is taken from his work Essays. Francis Bacon begins his essay discussing the three main purposes of studies. Reading for pleasure allows one to develop an appreciation for great writing. Reading for ornament allows one to think and speak with great clarity. Reading for business allows one to rise high in his or her profession. Bacon next addresses problems with three categories. Spending too much time studying leads to lack of productivity. Needless display of learning makes you sound like an empty vessel. Eccentric scholars blindly follow rules and principles. This spoils their inherent talent and judgmental power. Bacon understands that studies should always go hand in hand with experience. He uses a simile in this line. Just like plants are pruned or trimmed in a garden, studies also should be directed by experience. Bacon goes on to talk about the different attitudes that different people have towards study. By crafty men, Bacon means practical men. Such men lack the necessary foresight to realize the value of studies, whereas simple men merely admire studies and those whom they perceive to be intelligent. Wise men put what they read into practice. The value of studies is in their utility. Next, Bacon gives advice on how to read. We should critically read and consider every work that we read. He also categorizes books into three. The books that are to be tasted are to be read only in parts. That which are to be swallowed are the ones that can be read, but not curiously. The books that are to be chewed and digested are the ones that are to be read wholly and with diligence and attention. Bacon uses a simile again. The study of books by means of notes, summary, and analysis is tasteless like the distilled water. It lacks the real charm. Bacon moves on to state the different modes of studying. Reading enriches a man's mind. Discussions make him quick-witted, and note-making makes him an exact man. Bacon states how different disciplines influence students in different ways. History makes a man wise, poetry makes him imaginative, mathematics makes him sharp, natural philosophy makes him profound, whereas moral philosophy makes him attain seriousness. Logic and rhetoric help him increase his power of reasoning and argument. This Latin expression is quoted from Ovid. Studies mold our character in a perfect way. It surely changes our attitude upon everything. Bacon concludes his essay by stating how studies of different subjects can cure one of mental incapacities. Just like certain exercises are good for specific parts of our body, certain subjects help us in sharpening our mental abilities. Mathematics is good for making us concentrate. Study of philosophy is good for confusion of thought because philosophy helps us to dissect matters. Whereas law is good for training our memory. Take note of these points and remember Bacon's Of Studies any day. See you again next Tuesday with another important prose.
এখন চলে 48 ঘন্টা পর্যন্ত প্যারেন্টস আউট হোম অ্যালোন
Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Friendship, an essay by Francis Bacon. Francis Bacon is an eminent essayist, thinker, scholar, and philosopher in English literature. He is popularly known as the father of English literature essays, and he belongs to the Elizabethan age. This essay of Friendship was first published in 1612 and later in 1625. He wrote this essay on the request of his intimate friend Toby Matthews. Here he begins of Friendship with an anthropological statement by Aristotle. Aristotle says, "Whosoever is delighted in solitude is either a wild beast or a god." That is, if anyone is happy when he is alone and enjoys it, he must either be a wild beast or he must be God. And Bacon also supports this statement by saying that human nature demands company and social contact. At the same time, he does not criticize people who feel shy in a crowd and therefore seek isolation in the wild. Here, wild means a crowd. Such people find great value in peace, and it aids their mental processes to contemplate profound issues. Bacon points to philosophers like Epimenides the Canadian, Numa the Roman, Empedocles the Sicilian, and Apollonius of Tyana, who postulated theories unique to their age and contemporaries. Bacon attempts to differentiate between kinship and the general crowd. For him, there is a big difference between strangers of society and known friends. A person can feel lonely in a crowd too. Bacon uses a Latin adage which means that a big city is filled with great solitude. In a large city, people are separated and encamped in distinct areas that are difficult to bring them closer together. These long distances cause separation between friends and relatives. Therefore, for cultivating friendship, a small city or town is more conducive. In smaller towns, people live closer by and mingle a lot more regularly. Thus, these small cities have strong and united communities. According to Bacon, friendship demands the involvement of passions and feelings. They form the foundation of any friendship. Emotions are the threads that bind the hearts together. Bacon points to the ailments of the heart that it suffers if it stops or in suffocate. A healthy heart requires vigor, and the same is provided by an intimate and friendly conversation with one's friends. Patients take medicines for the liver, spleen, lungs, brain, etc. But for the issues of hearts, the love and affection of a friend is the best cure. The elite of society, like kings and leaders, are really adept at making friends. They understand the value of friendly ties with worthy people. The rich and the powerful often try to buy friendships with noble and influential people through gifts, badges of reverence, and their wealth. But such friends lack emotional attachment with their patron or benefactors. Now Bacon comments on some of his theoretical examples. He says the Roman ruler Sylla gave Pompey the moniker of great. However, Pompey divided Sylla as a setting sun while calling himself the rising sun of Roman power. Similarly, Decimus Brutus gained Julius Caesar's friendship and became his most trusted advisor. His blind trust in Brutus caused Caesar's final downfall. Bacon also gives the example of Agrippa and Augustus, Tiberius and Sejanus, Septimus Severus, and Platonus. In this essay, Bacon addresses three fruits of friendship. The communication of a man's self to his friend works two contrary effects. First, it redoubles his joy, and second, it cuts his grief in half. Because there is no doubt when a person imparts his joy to his friends, his joy increases more than others. However, when he imparts his grief, they become less. It is a fact that bodies become healthier upon natural actions such as joy and happiness. As the first fruit is for affection, the second fruit is for the understanding of things from different perspectives. Moreover, a friend is undoubtedly a witty counselor. Sharing one's problem with a friend is far more fruitful than a day's meditation. A friend's counsel always works when a person himself is not clear with his thoughts. The first two fruits help for peace in the affections and support of the judgment. The last fruit is like a pomegranate full of many kernels. It helps in several ways and has manifold fruits in itself. There are many things that a man cannot do himself, and then a friend is an appropriate alternative. Thus, all friends brings a lot of ease in such difficult situations and helps break barriers of communication. Francis Bacon ends the essay by condemning an unsociable man without friends as an aloof being not fit to belong to society. This is the summary of the essay. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support.
So I think so. Best of luck, Shariful. Already you know the syllabus. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum.
Okay.